What's some deal breakers for you?
Overweight.
Overweight
That
is
would
a
be
deal
one.
breaker for you?
Well, absolutely. I'm physically fit,
I mean, but
right?
can't
So I
you?
mean,
Okay.
so I don't want to walk down the street and we look like the number 10. You know what I mean?
So you want somebody
Yeah.
already physically fit?
hmm I don't do the weave or the fake nails.
Ooh,
No
so
weave,
I
no fake nails.
guess.
I know, right? No, nah, it gotta be 100% natural. So that's a deal breaker
Okay.
for me as well.
Well, we don't fuck
Um,
with you either, but it's all good.
it's all love. It's all love. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. Another deal breaker is someone who is Christian.
Wait, so
Yeah,
okay, hold on. So you don't want a girl who has okay, so no weave and no fake nails, and she also cannot be a Christian?
that is correct.
Tell me why.
Well, as you may know, those of you who are listening may know or may not know that Christianity was a religion that was forced upon African people, black people, during the Holocaust of the enslavement. Right? Studies show that, unfortunately, those of us who acquiesced to the religion of the colonizers and enslavers were the most amenable to the institution of chattel enslavement, but those of us who resisted, maintained our own religious and cultural beliefs that were derived from Africa were those who were always fighting back and resisting against, of course, enslavement. Secondly, it's not something that's historically, culturally congruent with me as a person of African descent, right? It's based on another group of people's culture, history, and heritage, not black people.
Okay, do you consider yourself an atheist?
I am one. Yes, I am.
You're saying you won't even date a person that does believe in Christianity.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, my parents are ministers, so it's not like I dislike Christians, right? I know why you make the face because when I told my parents this, they said Methodist. I said no, I said atheist, right? So you can only imagine that was a conversation. But for me, it just they tend to be delusional, not in touch with reality, in my experience.
So you think your parents are delusional?
And sometimes, but I told them this though.
Okay. So this is Bakari in Columbus, Ohio. He's 37, 2 kids. You were once married. So when you got married, was it under the rules of Christianity?
No.
Okay. So would
But,
you
but,
get
but I think it's also important to understand that there are some concepts of marriage that are germane to all cultures, religions, etc., right? In terms of being faithful, honoring your wife, honoring your spouse, so on and so forth.
so why did you get a divorce?
That was a long time ago, long story. I would just say irreconcilable differences.
Okay. So how long have you been single for?
About 2 years.
2 years. So your last relationship, why did that one end?
Well, she stated that she didn't want to get married. She said that there were some other things that she wanted to do, and so that's something I had to accept.
Okay, so you want to get married again.
Yeah, I would love to meet my black queen, and we hold it down, and we rock out until the end of our days.
Okay. Does she have to be in Columbus, Ohio?
No,
Okay, could she have children already?
no.
You have 2 kids.
I know, but here's the difference. I'm not looking for someone to be a stepmother to my children.
But if she marries you, she's automatically a stepmother.
No.
Yes, sir.
And the reason I say that is for me, I don't ask anyone to help me take care of my children in any way, shape, or form.
It wouldn't be an ass though. She would still, if she becomes your wife, she's gonna alter her life in order to, because you would want her to love your children as if they
No,
were her
actually,
own.
no, I wouldn't. Just all you have to do is be a respectful, kind, responsible adult. I'm not looking for someone to love my children. That's what their mother and my job is. I'm serious about this, dead ass. Yeah,
Well, you would
I,
want her to be
I'm,
understanding to the fact that you have a whole nother family unit. So let me ask you this: would you have children with your new wife if you get married?
if we were married, then that would be a possibility. Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. So she can't have kids, and you're saying possibly you will be willing to have a baby with her. Not even a guarantee.
If we're married, yes.
Okay, if you're
But
married,
that's only under the auspices of marriage.
I'm not okay. I'm not mad at that. Now let's say
Mm-hmm.
you get married and she has a child. Your child and your former kids would be siblings. She would have to have a
Absolutely.
relationship with
Oh
those
yeah,
kids.
absolutely.
So I say that to say any woman that marries you is going to have to accept the fact that you have 2 kids. So why would you not be willing to accept the fact that she has a child or two?
Well, and I'm so glad that you asked that question, and I hope my phone doesn't die on me. But typically, what happens is one or two things if you date a woman who has children. One, she's going to try to get you to financially support them, and then two, oftentimes they try to triangulate you into some drama with the father. Why would I put myself in that type of situation?
But you don't think that women deal with drama with children's moms?
When people are ratchet and messy and dysfunctional, yes.
But she still has to alter. She still has to share you with that woman. Oh, it's the phone. Did your phone die? Hello, you're back.
Yeah, my phone died on me, so.
So come on, black man. Can you use a charger at least, black man? Well, let's just go through it again. The requirements you desire in your woman.
Right. No weave, no fake nails, no fake lashes. I can't do that. Right. And so I just saw the last one, so I had to say this. So no addictions, right? So you can't be addicted to drugs or alcohol. I don't do any of that at all. So that doesn't work for me at all. I understand people have problems. I pray for you. Hallelujah, right? But it doesn't work for me. So.
You said she has to be black too, correct?
Right. And the thing for me is not just black in terms of phenotypically, but also politically. That's what's most important for me, right? Because we know we come in all shapes and colors and sizes, right? So for me, what's most important is that you're black politically, right?
Black politically. Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your deal breakers besides the opposite of everything you just said?
So I think another thing that the person, if you're not an intellectual, if you're intellectually lazy, that won't work for me because I want to be able to have a conversation with you, right? If you're not someone who likes to read, that's not going to work for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's very important.
Like to read.
Right, someone who doesn't like to read, that's a deal breaker.
Okay.
Someone who's intellectually lazy, that's a deal breaker.
You also said, this is what we jumped off of. You have 2 kids. You said the woman can't have any kids.
Right. And here's the thing. I've met women who have told me, hey, you have children, I don't want to date. Cool, no problem. I understand. I get it. Right. And it's because they're not your children. And so, for example, you had talked about, well, if you get with someone, the stepmother has to love your children. No, like I have nieces and nephews. I love my nieces and nephews, but I don't love them the way I love my son and daughter because they're not my children, right? And so I understand that oftentimes in these type of
that's a different dynamic if you were to marry a woman, right? And especially if you were to marry a woman and then have a child by that woman, because your siblings, the kids that you already have, will now become related to your other child. And I just think that marriage, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, but marriage, when you're joining in with this person, she is essentially going to be a part of your children's life. So she has to alter her life. So she has to alter her life and accept you for being a father already. Again, you're open. You can have your preference. It just always mind boggles me that basically you wouldn't date you then. You wouldn't date you.
Right. And I'm honest about that, though. I'm honest about that, right? Because the thing is, I know me. Like, I would never mistreat a child, right? But I know I wouldn't treat and love a child the way I treat my own. I could be with Halle Berry in her prime Flintstones movie, right? But I wouldn't treat Halle Berry's children if we were married the way I would treat my own because they're not my own. I would give my life for my children, right? I know I wouldn't give my life for someone else's kid, even if I married them. It could be Marcus Garvey's children. I know I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Because I didn't create them. And I know this is something that is not popular to say, but I'm being honest. I think oftentimes people, when they talk about this, they're not being honest, right? And I'm someone who, anyone who knows me say, love me or loathe me, Bakari is brutally honest. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. But I know that I would never love someone else's child the way I love my own.
Okay. So you would like a woman who has no kids, but you are open to having children if you marry another woman.
Correct.
Okay. Something else you said that you are an atheist and you will not be with a Christian woman.
That's correct.
So can she have any type of religious belief?
Yes. So every woman I've ever been in an actual relationship with has some type of religious or spiritual belief, right? So, and the reality is the majority of people in the world have religious or spiritual beliefs. I know that I'm in the tiny minority, being someone who doesn't believe in a higher power of any kind.
So you don't believe in a higher power of any kind at all?
At all. That's what being an atheist is. Yes.
So I'm just curious. What do you think? How did humankind begin? Like, what do you think happens after we die?
Be honest with you, that's not something that I explore because I'm gonna be dead, right? So that's not really my concern. But what I will say is this: that because I've studied culture anthropology, that all cultures have a belief about what happens when you die, right? But once again, we know that it's something that is man-made because you study different cultures, they all have a different belief about what happens, right? But for me, my goal, my purpose is to make sure that I do all that I can to help Black people restore ourselves to our traditional greatness while I am alive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I want Bakari. I said it
Yeah.
right? Yes,
Yeah.
I got it right. I wanted to be respectful. This is Bakari. Oh yeah, you also said the woman can't be overweight.
Yeah, this is the big thing for me, right? Like I said, no problem to sisters who, are pleasantly plump, but it doesn't work for me, right? I like petite women. It's just, that's my preference, right? So some of my views in terms of beauty come from my mother, very beautiful woman, right? Shout out to mom, right? But the thing was, my mother never wore weave, fake hair, fake nails. She was always physically fit, in shape. I told my dad, I said, I see why you married her, right? So for me, I know that that's where my views come from. And I know that I tried once, long time ago, being with a woman who was pleasantly plump. It didn't work for me because I wasn't physically attracted to her.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Bakari knows what he wants. So if you just tune in, he's in. Oh, does the woman got to be in Columbus, Ohio?
No.
Okay. Do you have the age? What's your age range?
30 and up.
30. So 30 and up. There's no cutoff.
I would say maybe 30 to 40. Yeah, it's a cutoff. So
30 to 40. And her having a child is a strong no?
Strong no.
Well, I think now at this moment, ladies, you don't want to, I wouldn't, because I mean, I appreciate your honesty, but not saying that you have to die for somebody else's child, right? Because I get that. Like everything you're saying, I mean, I respect, I understand. My dad always tells a story. I'm his only child because he thought he could never love another child more than me.
Mm.
But to date a man knowing you have children, that is making it known, like, I'll never die for your child if it came down to it.
And the thing is, I think a lot of men would tell women that because that's what they want to hear because they're trying to get the cookies. But here's the thing, though. Okay. So let's say I did, and I don't mean to cut you off. I gotta respect you on your platform because this is your barbecue. It tastes good, but it's your barbecue. So I want to acknowledge that. But so let's say I did do that, right? And part of being a father to a child is being able to exert your authority when necessary. But that child already has a dad. So in order for me to exert my authority, I would have to go through this man first. And if I tried to exert my authority in a manner that the father didn't like, he's going to be coming for my head. Why would I put myself in that type of situation?
Okay, and I will say some people are agreeing with you in the comments of not dying for somebody else's child either.
And here's the thing for me. I know there are a lot of Black children that are in need. So guess what? I mentor, big brother, big sister, all type of programs, right? But also I know my children, particularly my daughter, is very possessive of me, right? So she's like, if that ain't my brother, okay, it ain't happening. Like my daughter's very possessive of me, right? And so also I think it's very important that, I have a salary, right? My salary is finite until I finish my doctorate next year and move on to bigger and better things. But when you have children, there are always miscellaneous expenses. Man, you're trying to save back, something else come up. If I start taking care of someone else's child, when it comes time to support mine, the money isn't going to be there. And I know many people who are older than me who were in situations like that. They grew up, their parents divorced, dad started being a father to someone else's kids, and they didn't have the money to support them. And they're like, hey, they ain't got your last name. I'm your child. You made me. So I think it sounds good on paper, but I think the reality is it's very difficult to actually make happen in a very smooth manner.
Okay. Listen, we're gonna go. I'm gonna throw you out here to the wolves that are women that are watching. But one final question about the protection. So, okay, you made it clear, but let's say you were dating a woman with a child and God forbid, there's a robbery. Are you gonna make sure that everyone is safe, or do you look at it like, I'm gonna protect myself before I protect you and your child?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm so glad that you asked that question. And I would say this, I don't live with someone unless I'm married to them. So there's no way
that I'll be... You're not even living together. Y'all just out. Like, you could be out, like, about to have a robbery, leaving the movies or something, leaving dinner.
Okay. Well,
if I'm... You wouldn't die for nobody else's kid. So in that dynamic, who are you going to make sure you save yourself first, or would you save the girl you're dating and her child first?
Oh man, well that's a hell of a question. I would say this much: I don't know if I would ever be on a date with someone and their kid is there, right? I would say that much, but I will say that I am a licensed gun owner, and that there's no safety on my Glock. So if someone tried me to invade my space or rob me, it'd be chitty chitty bang bang. I'm just keeping it above. I did 6 years in the Army for a reason, so I think I would be able to comport myself well in a situation like that.
Okay, this is Bakari, y'all. In Columbus, Ohio, 37. He'll date between 30 to 40. He has 2 kids, 14 and 11. He will not date a woman with children. He is a Libra. He's 6'1". He's an atheist, so you cannot be a Christian. You cannot be overweight. You cannot have weave, fake nails, or fake lashes. How do you feel about makeup?
As long as you're not looking like Ronald McDonald, we're good.
You can wear makeup, but not so much. I can't remember. Does she have to be in Columbus, Ohio?
No.
Doesn't have to be in Columbus, Ohio. Let's do it. Give it to them. Ladies, if you're interested, give them. Oh, she has to be a black woman.
Absolutely.
And black-minded. And black-minded.
Yes.
So give them to them. Give them your Instagram name.
Body by Lumumba.
All right. And go ahead. Go to his page. Go to his DMs. Go to his comments, and let's see what it do. Bakari, I had a great. I'm not sure I agree with a lot of things you said, but I do respect your honesty, and I respect your desires and your preferences. And prayerfully so you. Well, should I say prayerfully so you'll find them, or I just say I hope you find them?
It's all good, as long as it's a good tape. But I didn't say. I saw someone say he said no makeup. I didn't say no makeup. I did not say that.
No, he didn't say that. I asked.
I didn't say no makeup.
He said, long as it's not Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you keep me posted and let me know how it goes.
All right. Peace. No doubt.
Bye, baby.